This might be the best streaming device you can get outside of the NVIDIA Shield. And it was just released over a month ago, and I've had a chance to try it out for a little bit now. It's the Formuler Z12 Ultra, and in terms of specs, it is elite. In terms of quality, it is elite. There's really not much holding this back from being one of the top devices. And the reason why I'm trying to show different options for all of you that view this channel is because, as you know, Amazon has been on their stuff lately, releasing the Fire Stick Select, which sucked, and then also announcing that they're pretty much banning all apps, third-party streaming apps on Fire TV devices. Now, this is a premium device. Before we get into the unboxing, make sure to subscribe down below. I'll be doing a complete course tutorial on everything you need to know about the Formuler device. I think I'm saying that right. So by subscribing, you'll be notified anytime a new video is released. And you can also go follow me on Instagram at UpgradeGuyTech. So you get a nice long HDMI cord, pretty generic power cord you get with every Android TV box. Now this is one of the big positives of this device. This really cool custom remote, which I put the case on it. You don't have to have the case on it. This is like a green kind of teal blue case. It has 4 customizable buttons on the bottom, which I really appreciate. You have your normal play pause menu button, your home, all your typical, your Google Assistant is built into it. It has a guide to bring you right to their custom built media player, which we'll be talking about. Info, these 4, which is for STB player and other apps like that. Favorites, groups, TV, STB, direct button, and your power button. It also has a Find My Remote feature, which we'll be testing out a little bit later. So if you ever lose it, it's stuck in the couch cushions, they actually have an option for it to beep as well. And then the actual Formuler device, which I have to say, it's a really nice, well-made Android TV box. Yes, a little generic, but it's made out of a hard plastic. You have this metallic material, which also looks like, I was going to say for ventilation, but I can't tell. Maybe not. A built-in LED in the front here. On the back, you have dual USBs, which you honestly might not need, but also a micro SD slot, Ethernet, which is a gigabit Ethernet direct plug-in, so higher than most Android boxes that you get. HDMI, you have your SP for audio. You have your function button, which I believe can be used to click through the menu if your remote's not working, and your power button or your power plug-in right there. It has no physical power button. I kind of wish it did. I prefer when they do. But in terms of specs, like I said, this is as good as it gets. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It has 128 of internal storage, which is massive. Running Android 12 as well with a really simplified main screen, which I think a lot of you are going to appreciate compared to a lot of other cluttered devices. This is also a NAS client device, which means this can access shared network devices. And it has Dolby Audio and Dolby Vision. So you're getting as good audio and as good 4K that you can pretty much get out of any of these devices. Besides, if we account for NVIDIA's AI enhancement, which really doesn't make that big of a difference. The immediate draw for me, of course, is that 128 of internal storage, which can be used for video playback and also recording on any IPTV service. And one of the biggest draws is actually their MyTV3 Online, which is their media player. We'll probably try to show some stuff with that, of course, staying within YouTube's policies. So let's go ahead and plug this in and show you the setup process. So I'm not going to walk through too much of the setup process or really any of the settings because I'm going to be doing a separate course on this, which is a new type of playlist you can have on YouTube. And this will give you a ton of different how-tos on the Formuler Z12. So just subscribe. That'll be the best way to be notified when that goes live. Just from the initial use of this remote, it is so smooth. It's probably the highest quality remote I've ever received with an Android box. And I also wanted to show you guys this because I figured out what this little button here is on the back. And I should have known. You guys hear that? That is the Find My Remote button. So tapping it, and then it doesn't stop until you press one of the buttons. So first thing I think some of you are going to appreciate, you don't actually have to log into a Google account or any other account to set up your device. You can use it without a login, which is nice. Obviously for the Google Play Store, which we're going to go over, you do need a login. Now there's a few apps that you're going to notice right off the front. MyTV Online is their unique media player. Now this is where you're going to get a lot of the benefits such as DVR and also you can connect an IPTV service. This is a reminder, this device does not include an IPTV service. It is literally just a media app that they include with it, their own proprietary software as far as I know. And I will be trying to show it to you in some ways, but obviously I'm very careful on what I show to make sure I stay within all rules and regulations of YouTube. Another thing I think a lot of you are going to appreciate, the fact that their operating system, their version of Android TV, no ads. You see how there's no ads playing on this home screen? It's a simplified home screen with your apps, your front favorites here, which of course you can customize, and then you can edit rows if you want. Simplified, easy, much appreciated. There's also this really cool Formuler remote app where you can select which remote you have. In this case, we get the GTV BT3 with it. And from here, there's a bunch of different features. You know, it's going to show you your battery level. It's going to show you if it's connected, your output, a bunch of other features. But you can also go to Setup Hotkey right here, and you can actually customize different apps and different features with your hotkey, which is really cool. So if you do tasks very often, there's a double tap option. There's a bunch of different quick options to get to the IPTV, and that is the My TV Online. And then there's also a long press. So there's actually multiple actions you can do with each hotkey. Of course, I'll be doing a full tutorial on this stuff. You can also control your backlight. So some other really cool features directly inside of the device that you're not going to get with your typical Android box. So now inside the Google Play Store is where things get interesting and might be a bit of a turnoff for a lot of you. But before we get to the actual App Store, let me show you what the main issue is here. Now this is running Android 12, right? And we can see it has a clean interface, but what you're going to notice is this is not an official Android TV version, and it's also not Netflix certified. So what does this mean? This is just really a cheap Android rip, which they've made to look very similar to Android TV actually. But when we go inside the Google Play Store, because this isn't certified, we go here and we try to install Netflix and we try to open it. This version of Netflix app is not compatible with your device. And in fact, you're going to get this for some of the apps inside of here. And what this means is you actually have to go and sideload Netflix off the internet to get it on your Formuler Z12 Ultra, which is a bit of a bummer, obviously not being officially certified. However, where Netflix doesn't work, apps such as Prime Video will work just fine. So obviously a bit of a downside because Netflix is obviously the most popular streaming app. You can still watch it. It probably just won't be 4K and you have to find a version online to install on here. So a bit of a bummer there, obviously. But they also include their own custom market here. And this is helpful because they do actually have a version of Netflix we can actually just download and install right here. And they also have other apps which might not be compatible through the Google Play Store that you can install directly through their own market. So now warning, this is a version of the app where you do need a touchpad of some sort, I believe, to actually get anywhere on this. So I think, do we have a mouse mode on this remote? Does this remote have everything but a mouse mode on it? That's so weird. Well, I have my keyboard remote, and right here we can see our mouse. We can go to the top right, and here we can log in and should be able to control it from here, but that first screen. So yeah, I would just say that's a bit of a major downside for a lot of people, but you can see they do have quite a few apps for you to download and install here. All completely legal. They're just the working versions that work on this device. Now here is My TV Online 3. It looks like they also have a mobile version now as well. But here is where you will add your portal and your M3 playlist. Now I'm going to try to do a more in detailed video demo of how this will work. I obviously have to find a legal service that I can attach to this. But you have your playlist nickname, your URL, VOD URL, XML TV EPG for channel guide, and I don't know what that is for offset. But here you can add your service, or you can add a portal right here, which just includes a login and potentially your MAC address. But very simple process. So they have this new feature called Game Day, I know, which nicely organizes the game so you can easily access it. I know you can record through their actual My TV Online, and that's why that 128 gigabytes of internal storage is so important. And then, of course, there's a ton of different settings, such as subtitles, audio language, closed captions, playback limit. So you really have a ton of customizability. And I know this is one of the best IPTV players from what I've heard online and why a lot of people love the Formuler device. Remember, I'll be doing a full course on the MyTV Online 3 when I get a chance, so subscribe so you can get notified. Now, inside settings, we should still be able to get developers option, I believe. Yep, right here. So you do still have your developers options directly in here to do even more customization. Just checking out the storage here, you can see we have 118 gigabytes available. That makes sense because the operating system and the stock apps always use up a certain amount, which is why you're usually missing some. So not a big deal there, but that is a ton of storage. And you have all your other basic Android TV settings. Again, but this looks a lot like an Android TV official OS device. And then, of course, your Bluetooth connection. And I also want to say this Wi-Fi is 6E. So that's the upgraded one from 6. Don't get it mistaken. There actually is a difference there for routers that are compatible with Wi-Fi 6E, which just allows for quicker and better connections through multiple devices. So that's a nice handy addition as well. They also have this launcher settings here where you can do a ton of stuff such as parental settings. There's a startup app that will pop up as soon as your device logs in. So let's actually try this. Let's say we want to set this to MyTV Online 3. And now let's restart our device here. So now on startup, it should go directly to MyTV Online 3. Let's see if it loads up. There we go. So that's cool as well, that you can go directly to an app instead of having to switch back and forth. I like that feature a lot. Overall, this is clearly a very solid Android TV box. It's built to last. It has great specs, but combine that with the fact that this is probably one of the best IPTV players you can get, especially with all the internal storage you're getting. Now, I have the link to this down below in the description if you want to check it out. It also supports me because I get a kickback from Amazon when you guys purchase one. But great device, big fan, and I'll be testing more of their boxes out. I think they're worth it.